It's Thursday, August 15th, and this is your American Hard Assets Market Minute. I'm Ryan Kazmierski, editor of American Hard Assets, and today we're joined by Mark O'Byrne of Goldcore. Mark, we're coming out of the summer months and headed back into the fall where trading usually picks up. Where do you see gold and silver heading from here for the rest of the year?
Well, yeah, we'd be very positive on the outlook from here. As you said, we've actually come through the summer months, and we tend to see a decline in liquidity when people go off on holidays, particularly in August, and they are called the summer doldrums for the precious metals, and you often see weakness during that period as well. We've come through that period. We're coming in towards this third week and fourth week of August. We think we've most likely bottomed in July, and we think that we're going to see strength in the autumn and into the winter. By year end, we think 20% from here is easily done, and that should take us above $1,600 per ounce. Interestingly, $1,600 per ounce is where the gold price was in mid-April, prior to the huge one-day sell-off on April 15th, Monday, April 15th, when the gold price fell 10% in roughly a day and a half's trading. So we do think that is an interesting level that we should get back to. And with silver, we think silver is obviously gold on steroids. It's gold beta and more a leveraged form of gold in effect, and we think silver could indeed go from $20 recently up as high as $30, a 50% increase from here. And we think we'll see those gains in the coming months. Probably a little bit of profit taking in October, and then we think there should be gains again November and December.
You mentioned the sell-off on April 15th. Would we expect that again when we get back up to 1,600? Are people saying we're $300 up from where we were? They start taking their profits and moving out, or will we continue pushing forward?
It's nearly impossible to say exactly, but I do think that volatility is going to be a feature of all these markets, not just the precious metals market. But given the huge amount of liquidity that's been pushed into the system, we're seeing volatility in stock markets, in currency markets, bond markets, and indeed the precious metals markets. Regard a significant one-day sell-off akin to what was seen in mid-April is possible, but I think I don't know if it's likely. I think the banks that were involved in that, there is speculation that it was one or two banks, and they basically sold a huge amount of futures contracts in a matter of a few trades, actually. And I think the CFTC and indeed there's a little bit more spotlight on the actions of these banks in the futures marketplace, and questions as to whether there is manipulation taking place. And I think that will make these banks a little bit more reluctant to be as flagrant, because it did seem quite flagrant. The move was just completely off the charts in terms of a standard of deviation that hasn't been seen before in the precious metals markets. So I think volatility will be a feature, but I'd be amazed if we get a sell-off of the scale that we saw then, particularly given the strength of demand that we're seeing in the physical marketplace throughout the world.
Today's Market Minute from American Hard Assets.